Hello, Giant Gia. Are you ready for an adventure with your Abba? You know, he had so many long journeys out on the big wide sea, and he learned all sorts of amazing things. But one sunny morning, he faced a challenge he'd never ever seen before, a brand new mystery. Can you picture it? It was a beautiful day. The sun felt like a big, warm hug, the sky was a perfect blue, and the sea was so calm and gentle. Abba was out on the deck of his ship, and he was polishing the shiny brass railings until he could see his own happy smile looking right back at him. It really felt like the start of a perfect day at sea. But then, something happened. Something very important on the ship just disappeared. And that's where our story, The Missing Rope Mystery, begins. Suddenly, a big voice boomed across the deck. It was the bosun, a sailor named Mr. Fernandez. And his voice was so loud that everyone on the ship froze. The cook stopped stirring his big pot of soup, the sailors stopped scrubbing the deck, and Abba stopped polishing. Everyone just looked up. What do you think could be wrong, Jai and Gia? Well, you see, this wasn't just any old rope. Oh, no. This was the captain's favorite towing line. It was so strong. Strong enough to pull a whole other ship. It was very, very special. But now, when Mr. Fernandez looked for it, it was gone. Poof! Vanished. The whole crew was so confused. Maybe pirates took it, one sailor whispered. No, the wind must have blown it overboard, said another. But your Abba, he just scratched his chin. He knew that ropes don't just grow legs and walk away. He looked around and thought, I think we have a real mystery on our hands. So, Abba decided he wasn't just going to stand there wondering. Nope, he was going to become a detective. And of course, every good detective needs a team, right? So he gathered his two best shipmates, Sunny and Manoj, to help him solve the case of the vanishing rope. So the three friends had their plan. First, get the team together. Check. Next, search high and low. And they searched everywhere. They looked behind giant wooden barrels, they peeked inside dark, creaky storage lockers, they even crawled on their hands and knees under the big lifeboat. But nothing, not a single thing. It was like the rope had just disappeared into thin air. They really needed to find a clue. Just when they were about to give up, Abba's sharp eyes spotted something small and yellow on the wooden deck. A banana peel. And wait a minute, there was another one, and another. It was a whole trail of them. Now, Abba knew for a fact that no one on the crew had eaten bananas that day. His eyes lit up. This was a very interesting clue. So very, very quietly, tiptoe, tiptoe, the three detectives followed that trail of banana peels. It led them all the way to the cargo area. You know, where they keep all the big boxes and crates. What do you two think they were about to find? They crept around a huge stack of boxes, held their breath, and then they peeked around the corner. And what they saw made their eyes go as wide as dinner plates. It was a monkey, a little brown monkey with the cheekiest, brightest eyes you have ever seen. And guess what it was wearing? The captain's missing rope. It was wrapped all around its neck like a big fancy necklace. And oh, that little monkey looked so proud of itself. Well, so that's who the thief was. But how in the world do you get a special rope back from a playful, chattering monkey? Well, this is where the story gets really, really fun. And the chase was on. That little monkey leaped from the crate and just zipped across the deck. It scrambled all the way up to the tippy top of the tall mast and even started swinging from the colorful flags like it was its own private playground. Can you just picture that? Abba, Sunny, and Manoj were running after it, slipping and laughing the whole time. Even the captain came out to watch. He tried to look serious, but Abba could see a little smile sneak onto his face too. Okay, chasing this monkey was definitely not working. But then, Abba had a brilliant idea, a very clever idea. He found another banana, held it out, and said in a really gentle, friendly voice, "How about a trade, little sailor?" Well, the monkey stopped swinging. It tilted its little head, looked at the big rope, and then it looked at that yummy banana. And it worked. The monkey carefully unwrapped the rope from its neck, dropped it right down into Abba's hands, and then snatched the banana. It scurried away happy as can be to enjoy its treat. Abba held up the rope. The case of the missing rope was officially closed. So, with the mystery all solved, the whole crew came together.
And you know what? Everyone learned a very happy lesson that day.
The captain came over and patted Abba on the back. He was so proud. He said that Abba had used his brain and his kindness to solve the problem, instead of getting angry or shouting at their little guest. That evening, the sailors were so happy that they made up a funny little song about the adventure. As they all sang together under the warm glow of the ship's lanterns, the whole deck echoed with happy laughter. Later that night, before he went to sleep, Abba wrote all about his day in his journal. He wrote that he realized that being patient and kind was a much, much better way to solve a problem than being upset. And right next to his words, he drew a tiny, happy doodle of the monkey swinging from the rope. And you know, Jai and Jai, that's a really wonderful lesson for us too. When something goes missing or just doesn't go the way you planned, remember Abba's adventure. Instead of getting upset, try to get curious. Sometimes the solution is fun and playful. And a kind smile can solve a problem much, much faster than a loud voice ever could. And that was the Great Rope Mystery, another wonderful adventure of your Abba at sea.